Welcome back to the Toppy Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name is Connor Williams, and we're back with another one of our end of season player reviews. This time it is Neal Maupay. This one should be interesting. For those who watch the channel regularly and have good memories, I did the video announcing Neal Maupay's signing. I gave my thoughts on it. My thoughts were that I don't think it's a good fit for Everton. I don't think he's a good striker. His goals that he scored weren't a great outlook for a striker. There's midfielders with better goals per season than him. And we looked at his XG, and I spoke about how Brighton last season were good, but all anyone kept saying was, oh, if these had a good striker, these would be really good, you know. Their XG is good, they just miss a good striker. And we've bought the striker they had and expected him to be brilliant. It's almost like Everton read the data, got confused. We're like, oh, Brighton have loads of XG. That must be Maupay. Like, no, that means Maupay's not doing his job because the goals aren't matching. You know, in 109 appearances for Brighton, he got 27 goals. That's not great. At Brentford, he was a lot more prolific. At Everton, not so much. So we will go into Neal Maupay now. This season, he has played 27 games and got one goal for Everton. He very rarely gets more than 10 goals a season, but this was quite disappointing for him. He started 11, was subbed on for 16. He played 1,115 minutes, so got plenty of minutes there, plenty of minutes. 4 yellow cards, 1 goal, and this is the problem. An XG of 4.8. So realistically, he's had good quality chances that would be valued at pretty much just under 5 goals. He should have at least 3 more goals, maybe even a fourth there. There are some misses that have come to mind. I'm pretty sure he might have had one in the derby, where it looked like he should have finished it. But there's a couple where he should have finished it and it's been straight at the keeper. He's had 16 shots on target, 9 off. So he doesn't, very, very rarely misses the target altogether. But again, these are straight at the keeper. 7 chances created, 247 passes, 19 attempted dribbles, only 7 of them successful, 11 tackles attempted, 5 of them were successful, and 5 interceptions. So now we'll go on to SofaScore for the rest of his in-game stats. These just give you a little bit more than FotMob do. So I've mentioned his XG, shots per game, he has 1.2 per game, goal conversion of 3%, big chances missed 7. Yeah. 7, guys. It basically says what I said at the start when we signed him in that thing. I just don't think he finishes his chances. He couldn't finish his dinner. And I think his stats said that. And I'm just not too sure why we bought him. I know he's linked with a move away, and I think he could do well in another league, but I just don't know why we bought him, because he's not an out-and-out goal scorer, as his stats suggest. He's actually quite a wasteful striker, and he's not big enough and imposing enough to be up front in the type of target man that Everton were trying to play him in as well. I mean, I think he is a wasteful striker, and I think Brighton proves that as well. But I do need to say that at Everton, we're not exactly playing to his strengths. He would do a lot better if you're playing him through, playing him off and running, quick 1-2s on the ground. He's not somebody you should be pumping long balls to. So I do think it's a bit half and half here. I do think he needs to be a little bit better, but I also think Everton aren't the right team, aren't playing the right style for him either. I think he could go to Italy, which is where he's been linked, and have a bit of a better time. Somewhere maybe in Spain, he'd have a better time than at Everton. I just don't think he's the right striker for us. We'll now go over to who scored for his strengths and weaknesses and style of play. He's got his strength as long shots, his weakness is defensive contribution. Read into that what you will, he is a striker. His style of play, he likes to do layoffs. This is what I mean, layoffs, 1-2s on the floor, playing through. I think he could be really good at that. I think he'd still struggle to finish, which is what his stats are suggesting, but at least he's getting in those areas. A lot of the problem this season is we are lumping the ball up to him and expect him to do something, and that's just not going to happen. For his end of season rating, Realistically, I'm gonna give him a 5.5. That's being generous as well. I think I want to give him a 5, but I think I'm gonna give him a 5.5. He's just not impressed me enough. I think if the club get an offer from Salatina, I think it is in Italy, I think they should accept it. And we should go get a striker that suits our style of play and it's a bit more clinical. I know we're after the Swedish lad from Coventry, Caceres, I think it's pronounced. And he does look a lot more like the Everton build. He's good in a counter-attacking system, can play with his back to goal and turn quickly and powerfully. And he's a good finisher. It makes a lot more. Obviously, there are caveats to that, and we'll get into that if we sign him. Um, but yeah, in terms, I would look to sort of cash in on Neal Maupay because I do think he could do well somewhere else, just not for Everton. But yeah, give him a 5.5. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts on Neal Maupay. Do you think the club should try and offload him in the summer? Do you think the rating's fair? Do you think what I've said about him's fair? Let me know all that good stuff. I look forward to listening and reading it, and I'll see you guys very soon.